What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Don Rico from the Imperial Empire. Quick Sunday motivational video for you, just real quick. And it's not so much motivational as it is also functional. Listen, you've been on this road, this path of progress for quite some time. Are you really going to stop right here? Your perseverance, your discipline is what's going to take you to the finish line. Listen to me. Faith without works is dead, and you've been working for quite some time. And you're almost there. You can feel it. But somehow, some way, for whatever reason, the pressure is starting to mount up onto you. And you're beginning to realize something. It's getting much, much harder the longer it is that I'm going on this. The longer I have been on this path, it seems like I thought it would be easy, but it's actually becoming really hard. And it's getting to a point to where you're beginning to actually hit a very difficult high pressure situation or circumstance. And that's the moment where you need to push harder. I need you to understand something. That is your final test. That is actually the true test. Everything else was preparation. It's like when you're in school, when you do all the homework. Now, I know we don't have very fond memories when we were in school and we have to do the homework. Even now, if you have to go to a college, for example, but it's in preparation for the tests. And the test is what's going to determine how it is that you're going to it's going to determine your trajectory of how it is that you're going to perform in the class. And that's what preparation for that's what this essentially what this is a test. The very moment before you actually hit a breakthrough, the very moment before you actually reach that point of success where you actually start to develop some sort of exponential growth and progress, that's when you're going to have the most pressure placed on you. That's when you're going to have a higher likability or probability of an unfortunate circumstance happening to you. And at that moment, you're going to come to a crossroads. Do I quit and turn back, or do I keep moving forward? And you need to move forward. You must move forward. Again, faith without works is dead. You need to put in the work, but you also have to have faith that it's all going to work out in the end and it's not going to be in vain. I'm not going to waste too much of your guys' time, but what I need you to understand is that you need to persevere. You need to continuously move forward. Don't put so much pressure on yourself thinking, I need to be more disciplined. I need to be perfect. Listen, you're not going to be perfectly disciplined, nor are you actually going to show up perfectly every single time. Imperfect, constant, frequent action, consistent action is what's going to take you forward. It doesn't have to be pretty in the beginning. Hell, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I would say just do it. Whether you're ready for it or not, whether you prepare for it or not, just do it and then figure it out as you go. It's as they say, build the plane as you fly it, and you'll figure out the mechanics of that of that plane, of that machine, of that aviation machine, and you actually begin to understand how it is that you need to move this thing and maneuver this thing and how it is that you need to function and what's your place in it. Maybe you're not actually meant to be the pilot. Maybe you're actually meant to be the co-pilot. Maybe you're actually meant to perform a different type of function within it, but you won't know until you actually go. And having that bias for action is very important, but having that perseverance, that consistency, the willingness to not quit when most people do quit. There's a point, like I said, when most people do quit, the willingness to continuously press forward, to continuously go through that rejection, the continuous process of long time having no results. Even now, when it comes to my videos and my content, I would look through all my videos, even from the ones from the very beginning, and I would get like little to no views consistently. Now, let's be honest. Be honest with yourself. Would you continue? Would you continue to press onward even though you were getting no views? Or would you continuously press forward and be like, you know what, let me refine this. Let me figure out how this works. Let me figure out how to make better thumbnails. Let me figure out how it is that I need to communicate more effectively to the camera. You build the plane as you fly it. You're figuring out as you go. That's the homework. The willingness to continue to press onward and continuously improve bit by bit by bit until you reach a test to where if you successfully pass the test, you reach the next level. But you're never going to reach the next level if you don't first persevere to reach the test. The test may be the hardest part of the process, but is the most important part of the process because it is a point in time where you have to reference and prove everything that you learned, the knowledge, the persistence, the consistency, the discipline, the willingness to persevere and to get better, to continuously improve, your confidence, everything up to that point is being tested to see if you're actually worthy to reach the next level. You can't skip steps in this. I know it seems hard in the beginning. I know that there's a lot of rejection that you're facing. I know it's sometimes it feels like you're not getting any traction and you're not actually moving forward, but I promise you, you're making progress. It's just invisible at first. You can't see it. And a lot of times you won't even be able to feel it until you actually start taking off. It wasn't until very, very recently, for example, people actually started complimenting me and asking me on my tips and advice when it comes to fitness. Why? And I don't really talk a lot about fitness on my platform. It's more just like aligning my thoughts and then communicating what's actually on my mind. And then everything else kind of just falls into that. But like I said earlier, I'm building the plane as I'm flying it. And then I could properly define what this channel is going to be exactly. But for the time being, I'm going to take action and I'm going to actually speak what's on my mind to build that camera confidence, which I actually made a video about. You need to understand something. You're actually learning, you're growing, you're improving. And all of that time that has passed, in which I've dedicated myself to my own personal quest of physical fitness, it's not until recently it seems like I got all of the attention from people in real life, outside of the internet, of course, where they're asking me what it is that I do, how is it that I'm so strong and this and that, I look so good. And it seems like when you look at it in hindsight, it seems like it's an overnight type of success feeling that you get. But they don't know that you've been at this for years. I continuously persevered. Even after when I got COVID and I lost weight, I continuously pressed forward, I put the weight back on, and I became better than I was prior. Even when I got my surgery years ago and I lost 15 to 20 pounds of muscle, I continuously pressed forward when I was clear to work out, and I continuously pressed forward and I put that weight back on and that muscle, and I became better than what I was before. I continuously persevered. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and I want to close out with this. There is light at the end of the tunnel, but you're going to have to work your way there. You're going to have to climb your way there. It's going to have to be, and I'm not going to sugarcoat this for you, it's going to have to be a war of attrition. But I believe that you have what it takes, but you have to persevere. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to be the absolute best. You just got to be willing to endure. Remember, the race is not given to the swift, it's given to he who endures to the end. So it's an endurance race, it's a marathon. Speed will matter to some degree, but your ability to endure is what's going to determine and separate the winners and the losers, those who quit and those who have inevitably reached their success. But as long as you continuously push forward, you will always find a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. There's always a light in the end of the tunnel. There's always a silver lining. You're going to grab onto it when you see it, and then that's where the success comes. It almost always happens that way. But I need you to continue to press forward. So that's a Sunday talk for you guys. Hopefully you guys go out there, you crush it, you have a great and awesome Sunday, and I'm gonna catch you on the flip side. It's your boy Don Rico signing off. Deuces, everyone.